we're going to be talking about Floating City. We just received authorization to use from Chris McCormick. Thank you very much, Chris. This is just amazing. Being able to use this footage you released is, we're thrilled. We're very thrilled. First of all, because we've received last week an anonymous picture from an anonymous source of what seems to be a floating city, okay, over the clouds, hovering over the clouds. Now that is something, to me, it's quite the first time I see this, okay? So the second time I saw this was, the first time I saw this actually was that picture they took from China, the floating city on China. Everybody says it's a hoax, right? That was the first time I saw it. We actually even did post about it, I believe, but it was really realistic, and it did seem a little bit of CGI, but we can't tell. Things started to get worse or better, I don't know, when we received last week a picture from an anonymous source showing us what seems to be a floating city hovering buildings over a cloud, over the earth, right? So we have this city floating over Dulali in a village in Buachi in Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody saw it in the village. They reported it. They went into the newspaper. It made the headlines. So no, please, before you dislike this video or before you make a bad comment, do think twice, because maybe we are onto something, and of course they're not going to be talking about it. It's not of their interest. My question to you is, what is this? In the Bible and in many other places that we could consider good source of information, for example, the Bible, other religions, for example, Buddhism, they say that there are other etherical beings that live with us, and in the Bible they call them spirits, or saints and angels, okay? And these beings could actually be returning home, you know what I mean? And these cities hovering over the clouds, they could be etherical cities, cities in another vibration, for example. We just don't know. This picture I showed you from an article, this article I showed you, with all these people from this village all reporting the same thing: a floating city with noises, with car noises, people noises, all the noises that a city does have, they reported the same thing. How can we explain such a thing? Massive hallucination? I don't think so. Is Chris hallucinating here with his camera? Is his camera hallucinating? I don't think so. That's quite hard to argue with, okay? So what I want to conclude is, what is happening here? Do we have, for example, angels or whatever? You can even say demons if you want to play the other side. What do we have here? But they are coming. Something is here with us. You know what I mean? Now, what I'm going to show you is some pictures of the moon that also could help us find out what actually is going on or could be going on with our planet. So we've got floating cities, right? We've got people saying that we are in the end of times. We've got people talking about HAARP, saying that the dome, that we live in a flat earth, that the dome is being somehow shaken, you know what I mean? Like something's happening to the dome. We've got massive global warming. So what's happening is, this picture you're seeing we've received from an anonymous source. Thank you very much for letting us use this. She tried to focus her camera on the moon. So what you're seeing here is the moon, okay, and a very strong halo around it, okay, halo around it, okay. So she couldn't focus her camera on the moon. She was unable to focus, and when she was able to focus a little bit more, this is what we got, okay. This is what we got, and I'm gonna show you. This is just astonishing, okay? Which means, what does this all mean? Oh, a lens flare, James. This is a lens flare. No, we've already discussed this, okay? A lens flare is usually accompanied by other lens flare, okay? Other type of lens flares, and this over here could actually be a lens flare, okay? So it actually be a lens flare, but the thing that we're finding hard to believe, as I'm gonna show you on the next pictures, don't worry, is that this is not the only picture out there. Now take a look at this one. We've got a chemtrail at night, okay? And we've got the moon, and again, an object just next to the moon. Now tell me that, okay, now you can tell me that is a lens flare. Of course, James, they're chemtrailing lens flares. Of course. No, they aren't. They're chemtrailing another thing, we don't know what it is. That's why I'm posting this video, because I want you to comment below, and I want you to tell us if you do know anything about this. Now, it's just not one picture. Just as I told you, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of pictures coming in, and a lot of people saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. Like, James, there is something wrong with the moon. For example, I'm unable to focus on the moon. The moon is weird. There's something hovering on beside the moon. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say, if you have by any chance a picture, a video of a floating city or the moon, whatever, please do send it to us. It's quite important. We're trying to investigate whatever could be happening right now. We don't know. Okay, this is one of the most compelling pictures we have. Okay, and again, person was trying to focus on the moon, and this is what we got. A moon and an object just beside it. Now remember, this could be a lens flare. It could be a lens flare, but it isn't. They're chemtrailing it. Whatever they're chemtrailing it. And the moon, I beg you, please do go outside in your hometown with an iPhone, for example, and take some pictures of the moon. Try to focus on it, okay? Take the brightness off. Try to focus on it, and see what you get. Okay, see if you get this object beside the moon. See if you can just get a clear picture of the moon, because they're chemtrailing at night right now. There's something happening. I think it's quickly happening. If you want to know, if you want to ask me, So whatever is happening is, it's gonna. I don't know. I believe that in 2017 we're gonna find out. Okay, so what I'm gonna leave you right now is with the full video, Chris McCormick's full video. I'm gonna leave you with a description to his channel. He's a great guy. He's been observing. He's been. I don't know, but his eyes are open. I think this is very important. Okay, his eyes are open, and I believe that we all should have our eyes open right now. This is not the time to shut our eyes and say that there is nothing going on. This is not the time. Maybe that we've got some, maybe we've just we don't know what's actually going on, and we are speculating. Sure, we're speculating. We don't have any exact data. There are too many people talking about HARP. There are too many people talking about CERN. There are too many people talking about aliens. There are too many people talking about the end of times, so we don't know. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to leave you with Chris McCormick's video, and I want you to comment below what you think all this is. Okay, why are they chemtrailing the sun? Why are they chemtrailing the moon? What are these floating cities, and what is next to the moon? Okay, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, this is James for the Impossible channel. We're going to be talking about Floating City. We just received authorization to use from Chris McCormick. Thank you very much, Chris. This is just amazing. Being able to use this footage for these is, we're thrilled. We're very thrilled. First of all, because we've received last week an anonymous picture from an anonymous source of what seems to be a floating city. Okay, over the clouds, hovering over the clouds. Now that is something, to me, it's quite the first time I see this. Okay, so the second time I saw this was, the first time I saw this actually was that picture they took from China, the floating city on China. Everybody says it's a hoax, right? That was the first time I saw it. We actually even did post about it, I believe, but it was really realistic, and it did seem a little bit of CGI, but we can't tell. Things started to get worse or better, I don't know, when we received last week a picture of an anonymous source showing us what seems to be a floating city hovering buildings over a cloud, over the earth, right? So we have this city floating over Dulali, in a village in Buachi in Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody saw it in the village. They reported it. They went to the newspaper. It made the headlines. So no, please, before you dislike this video or before you make a bad comment, do think twice, because maybe we are onto something, and of course they're not going to be talking about it. It's not of their interest. My question to you is, what is this? In the Bible and in many other